there are going to be times you're going to want to throw in the towel. There's going to be times it gets so hard that you just want to feel like throwing a Bible at somebody's head and like bop him in the head with it. Okay? There's going to be those times, y'all. Okay? Because being a follower of Christ, being a chosen one, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. It is hard. Okay? It is hard. The things I go through on a daily basis is extremely difficult. This is why chosen ones are picked, because they have the persistence, the perseverance, they have the tenacity and the integrity to keep pushing through these things when attacks hit. And they're going to hit. They're going to hit spiritually. They're going to hit physically, emotionally, mentally. They're going to hit all four of those areas. And the Lord will test you on these things as well. You better be ready for the battle, y'all. This is why healing, deliverance, and spiritual warfare is, again, so vital as a Christ follower. And what's sad is the churches aren't really even teaching about this. And the ones that are teaching about this, they're twisting it, right? Very difficult to navigate truth, the spirit of truth, and deception, the spirit of deception, right? We know that there's going to be attacks. Ephesians 6 says we're not fighting against flesh and blood. We know this. But y'all, there's going to be times where even chosen ones are tricked. And that's actually in the Bible as well. We have to be so diligent on who we connect with. We have to be so diligent on who we follow. Understand you're coming under that covering to those people, okay? And God will hold you responsible. He wanted me to get on here to tell you that you're going to be held accountable, okay? Ezekiel 33, he keeps giving me that, keeps showing me that as a watchman's job. It's my responsibility to give these things out, or they come back on me. He held me responsible for not giving you messages. And they're not going to always be easy. They're not always going to be fun. That is part of a prophetic vessel's job. Okay, if you're a chosen one, God's going to ask you to do some really, really hard things. He's going to ask you to go through some really hard things. In my book, Vertical Relationship, I went through a year of agony of God telling me to go back to somewhere I didn't want to go, y'all. But I knew that he was telling me to do it. And this meant going to court. It meant just spending every dime I had. This story is in my book, Vertical Relationship, 4 Steps to Salvation and Getting Right with God. It was a year of agony. Okay, those are the things that God's going to ask you to do. He's going to ask you to do really hard things. He's going to ask you to continue to pray for somebody when they're ridiculing you and ripping you apart. He's going to continue to ask you to, what's more important, me or your kid or your marriage? Are you going to put me first? And that's the things I had to ask. And that's the things that the Lord had to do with me. Are you going to put me first, Melia? Are you going to care more about what I'm telling you to do, even though people are going to slander? Family's going to come up against you. Are you going to follow me still? Will you follow the Lord still when he's asking you to spend everything in your bank account? When he's asking you to move somewhere you don't want to move? When he's telling you to pray for somebody and you don't feel like it? Listen, y'all, these are the things that you're going to have to push through. And you're going to have to do that with a heart posture that's for Lord. You're going to have to do that and not complain about it and bite your mouth and bite your tongue. And yes, we have emotions. We have to go through these things. And the Lord wants to talk to you about those things. Okay? He doesn't expect you to not have feelings about that. The Lord gave us feelings and emotions, but not to slander others with them. So I hope that encouraged you today, that you're going to have to go through pain and suffering, and it's not going to be easy. But the Lord is on your side. Remember that. He is on your side. He's fighting your battles. He sees all and he hears all. And that is one thing that I always reflect back to, is he sees all and he hears all. He sees everybody, and the way they treat you, the way that you're treating others, and how you respond is just as important. I hope y'all are encouraged by that. Love y'all. Blessings.